Hey guys, welcome back to another real estate market update. And Calgary market sets new records in August. Question is being asked if we are still affordable. In this Calgary real estate market update, I'm not only going to tell you what you probably already know, which is that Calgary continues to be very hot sellers market, but I'm also going to peel back the layers and talk further about our rental market. And also I will discuss what the numbers look like if you're deciding between renting or buying this fall. Calgary market continues to build wealth for all of the homeowners here. In August, we saw prices increase by about 7.4% from this time last year, with a total sales up nearly 28%. This is really healthy growth, and about the same numbers we saw in July, with about 206,000 homes changing hands. Breaking things down a little further, detached homes have pushed through the $700,000 barrier with a benchmark price of $709,000, which is 11% increase for this time last year and up $120,000 from August 2021. I mean, that's really wow. Semi-detached properties grow about the same rate, 11%, and now sit at a benchmark price of $580,000, which is basically the detached price from 2 years ago. But that's not all. The raw market housing is also making huge gains, up 22%, twice the rate of growth as the freehold segments, to sit at $419,000. I have long felt that the row house segment was a really great value here in Calgary, and the word is getting out and we are starting to see that sector catch up to a touch pricing. My feelings is that it's being driven by active within condo apartment segment, which is also posting double-digit gains of up to 15% from this time last year. Okay, but here is a little bit more of expert insight for you. We are seeing more new listings across all segments when compared to the last year, about 7% or so, with the apartment condo sector showing a nearly 50% jump in available properties on the market. Why, you ask? Well, this is mostly definitely the result of a new construction units hitting the resale market as early as pre-construction investors exit into our current boom, pocketing some cash after renting out for a year or two. Now, speaking about the rental market, housing affordability is one of the hottest topic in Canadian real estate. So I'm going to deliver a little bit of an insight into this segment of the market for those that are wondering if they should keep renting or push to get into home ownership. But before we dive in, I should know that the statistics I'm referring to here are from private company called Rent Faster and asking rents, so they're not based on actual leases. But since we also run a property management company here in Redline, we look after hundreds of properties around the city. And we know that asking rents are essentially the same as lease rents, and the most of the trends I'll be discussing next are based on our own experience within the market. So, if you want to rent out a property in Calgary, you will be looking at approximately $2,000 for one bedroom condo, $2,500 for two bedroom, and $3,000 for three bedroom house. If you are into suited properties, main floors are usually being rented for just under $2,300 a month, and basements are fetching just over $1,600 a month. All of those rents are up significantly compared to the last year. On average, about $400 more in 2023 than in 2022. So, with both rental rates and housing prices going up, should you rent or should you buy if you're planning on moving here? Well, housing affordability is one of the hottest topics of the conversation around the country these days. Interest rates have increased, making loans more expensive, and prices do not appear to be coming down. So what exactly would your payments look like if you're deciding to buy, and how do they stack up the rents for the same asset class? Well, I look at the contrast between two approaches to housing, and I will walk you through it for the overall markets for both rental and purchase scenarios. If you would like to see what those numbers look like for each of the market segments, so detached, semi-detached, row houses and apartments, just wait until the end of this update and I will post those numbers. So with respect to interest rates, the Globe and Mail had an article recently where they showed the lowest available interest rates across various products like 3-year fixed or variable, 5-year fixed or variable, and so on. For our study, I'm going with 5-year variable option because I feel more likely that the rates will be lower 5 years from now, and I also really dislike the payout penalties associated with the fixed rate loans. Our rate for the study will be 5.25, and I will use an amortization length of 3 years. So, using an average Calgary sale price in August, which was 5.25, we are going to run 2 sets of numbers. The first one for first-time home buyers using only 5% down, and a second scenario at 20% down, which would be lowest you can get if you are to invest in real estate or if you just want to avoid insurance premiums, which are getting pretty hefty as loan prices go up more and more each year. So, a 5% down payment on 525 will be $26,250, and your monthly payment will be just over $2,700. At 20% down, you will need $105,000 in cash, and your payments will be $2,300. Both of these numbers are very close in average rent in Calgary right now, which is $2,368. So we are pretty close, but all of them are indeed expensive when you compare to a few years ago. But expensive is a relative term. Calgary's prices are still way lower than Vancouver's and Toronto's, which more than doubled in average sale price that the buyer would pay here in our cow town, and considerably more than the average rental rates in those two cities. So by that measure, we have it pretty good here in Calgary, don't we? And here to finish things off are the time details, the rent versus own analysis for Calgary overall, as well as for each of the asset classes. Do you want to know what your home is worth? Are you considering buying the property in Calgary and area? I would be happy to help. Have a great September.